And we here, y'all.
We back.
Yo, you don't understand the technical difficulties that we have had just to get this working. We really need a producer. And I'm just going to put it out there right now. If anybody wants to be a producer for
You got money?
Docs Outside the
You
Box,
got money?
if any intern or any
There you
medical
go.
student
Now
wants
it's
to be
intern.
a producer for the show, and listen, your qualifications has to be. Hold on, let's turn this. We got audio.
Instagram. Hold on a second. We got to mute this site. All right.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to be a producer on the show, listen, we looking for one right now.
Really?
And someone who has some, I say technical know-how, specifically on like Restream, as well as on
StreamYard, Zoom,
YouTube, any of those type of things that you could do online. If you know how to do that stuff, we looking for somebody. Reach us out, man. So if you go to the bottom, well, we're live right now, but if you hear this on the podcast, just click on fan mail and let us know what's going on. And the fan mail actually has been going really good, right? People have been writing in, letting us know how they feel about the show, different episodes. So we definitely appreciate that. And then also you can text us also. So by the time you watch this, you won't see it on the live, but when you see this on YouTube, not live, you'll see that there's our phone number there that you can text us and let us know what's going on. So
we probably should have put the text number in here.
So what we doing today? What we doing today?
First of all, you didn't even introduce yourself.
I think everybody knows who I am.
No, everybody don't know who you are.
If you
Everybody
don't know who
you're
I
not
am,
famous.
guys.
You're not famous.
Okay.
You're not a celebrity.
Okay. All right. I think you're good. So, guys, if you don't know who it is, my name is Dr. Nee, trauma surgeon, dad, husband, podcaster, host of Docs Outside the Box. I'm also joined by
Dr. Renee, the love of his life.
Well, we appreciate everybody jumping on.
Oh, you just jumped over it like that.
We appreciate everyone jumping on to come and talk about this live.
Ooh, you mad today.
And, hey, Chris Morrissey's on here. Chris, what's up? How you doing?
Chris?
So if you want to see two physicians, two surgeons operate, this is the live that you're going to see. But we got a lot of things we're going to talk about. Actually, we're going to talk about one thing. I don't know why I'm saying we got a lot of things to talk about. We're going to talk about this neurosurgeon who, I don't know if you guys have seen the video, but we're going to feature his video. But this is the neurosurgeon who's MIT trained. And I don't know why they say MIT trained neurosurgeon. MIT doesn't even have a medical school. Right? Like, I hate when people do stuff. I'm an MIT trained neurosurgeon.
I
like,
didn't even realize
MIT doesn't have a
that.
medical school. So your MIT did not train you to be a doctor. So he should take that off of his YouTube channel. But I think he did that for effect, right? But
yeah, well, he wants to get the engineers and all.
No,
those
he doesn't.
people.
He wants to show everybody that he's like the smartest of smart, and I get it. But MIT doesn't have a medical school. Just say I'm a neurosurgeon, and anyway, so we gonna talk about how
Maybe
this
he's starting
neurosurgeon
it.
who quit his job and he is out in the middle of nowhere, like cooking deer and cooking whatever it is, and he's just enjoying his life. He put out a video, and everybody's like talking about this because it's like, well, why would a neurosurgeon quit? Why would an MIT trained neurosurgeon just quit? It's very interesting. So. And then I'm about to whoop Renee's ass in good old surgical skill.
What?
Because we all know trauma surgeons, general surgeons, we can whoop that ass in the operating field. So why don't you show them real quick what our body, our cadaver looks like real quick. Show them that.
Okay, here we go. This is our cadaver. Okay. It is the
How
operation
expensive-
game.
How expensive was this cadaver? This person had to sign their life away?
It's probably $19.99.
This person had to sign their life
the
away.
good old operation game is that by
Milton
Tell
Bradley.
or whatever, Milton Bradley?
Yeah.
Milton Bradley, yes, the operation game. So yeah. Nee thinks he's about to whoop my tail, and we'll see about that. We shall see.
Look at this, man. Look at this.
What we doing
Look at
here?
that. Look at
What we
that.
doing?
Look at that.
What we doing?
I'm not even gonna look down. I'm just gonna look at the camera and still get this.
Really?
Look at this.
Look up.
Oh! Did you turn the sensitivity up on this?
Nah, there's no sensitivity. There's no sensitivity. That's your bovie.
Now I'm looking.
That's your bovie on 100 and 100.
Oh! Where's anesthesia? Anesthesia's supposed to be kicking. First of all, how come there's no anesthesia in this game? Right? Because like, wouldn't anesthesia just be like the thing doesn't buzz?
What?
Right? Like, just take the batteries out.
No, because if you
take
had
the battery out.
No, what you would do if you had an anesthesia game if you
I'm
had
not saying if there's anesthesia in this game.
No, I know, but if you had anesthesia in the game, anesthesia would be intubating.
Okay.
Right? Wouldn't they be intubating?
I'm just saying the patient should be asleep.
Okay, well, his eyes are open, and you know
I'm
he
messing
doesn't
this up big time.
he doesn't actually need to be asleep because maybe he's like under regional. Maybe he
Okay.
got epidural.
All right.
Or
Yo,
spinal.
shout out to everyone who's on here. Listen, let's jump into this. All right. So let's talk about this neurosurgeon. So probably about 2-3 weeks ago, this neurosurgeon, he has a YouTube channel. You want to bring up his YouTube channel?
Yeah.
He has a YouTube channel. I forget what it is. Gooby Dooby. In essence, basically, imagine yourself going to you're freaking camping out in the middle of nowhere, and you meet some guy who is like really super smart, and he knows about all these different things out in the outdoors, and he just happens to be a neurosurgeon. So that's exactly what we found out. This guy has had a pretty good YouTube presence where he just features, ASMR of different types of sights and sounds out in the woods. And he's been doing this for, keep going back, I can't recall how far he's been going back with this.
He's been going back a while.
At least 6 months, I think. Maybe 4 months, actually, he's been going back. And he doesn't show himself. It's just the sights and sounds that he sees.
Normally he doesn't show himself.
Right? And then you just got to qualify everything, right?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
He said he doesn't show himself.
He doesn't show himself at all until that one video, right?
That's
and then
what I'm
after that,
saying.
he went after he did that one video, that's when he started showing himself.
That's what I was going to say.
So
You're not the only one that can tell the story.
you want to tell the story?
No, I don't.
Go ahead.
I don't want to tell the story. Go ahead. You're doing a good job.
So he basically had a YouTube channel where it's just featuring sights and sounds of being in the outdoors. And then all of a sudden, can you scroll down? About 2 weeks ago, he put out this video named, "I was an MIT educated neurosurgeon. Now I'm unemployed and alone in the mountains." And I watched this video. It's 45 minutes long. It's got 10 million views put out through. And in this video, he's basically just standing in front of the mountains.
Hi, I'm
Mosquitoes
Gooby
everywhere.
from Gooby and
He
Dooby.
talks about what it's like to be a
So I used to
neurosurgeon
be a
who basically said,
neurosurgeon.
"I'm not doing this anymore."
I
And
trained,
out in the
or
woods,
I
enjoying my
went to
life.
college
And he
at
goes into
MIT
why
and
he decided to walk away
did
from it. It's
4
very
years of
interesting.
medical school and
Right.
6 years of
So
neurosurgery
basically,
training, and
when he first
and
started
I was a
going to
neurosurgeon
medical
for
school, he thought that he was going to be able to
almost 10
leverage
years
his MIT training
after
with
all of
being a
that.
doctor.
So that's 20 years of my life.
So he's an engineer.
And I
I'm
quit.
assuming he has some type of engineering background.
I
don't know what
quit
his
last
degree is
year.
in. He doesn't say what his degree is in, right?
And nobody understood
'Cause
why I
don't even
quit.
know what MIT's offers just straight bio. I don't know. Right? So he wanted to be able to use technology to make
Uh,
people walk.
People would ask,
So obviously he
but,
always wanted to
you
do
know,
neurosurgery,
a decision that
to incorporate some type
involves
of
20 years of
technology
your
into it.
life, you can't really answer
He
in
learned very
a couple
quickly
minutes,
that,
and
yeah, when I
most
go
people
into
don't have
medical
time
school, it's really about healing. That's what he
to
thought.
sit and
But
listen
once he
to,
became a resident, and then once he graduated, he realized that not everybody needs surgery. He realized that there are some people who, rather than giving them surgery, they just need lifestyle changes and lifestyle choices, and he just needed to be their coach as opposed to being their surgeon. And then there's other people who really just needed surgery.
Right.
And he started realizing that approach of, listen, you don't need surgery. What you need is this non-surgical method. You need this lifestyle management. You need to stop smoking. You need to, get out in the woods and start walking. You need to start, you need to lose weight.
Right.
That doesn't make a hospital money.
Right.
And as a result, he started realizing there's this dichotomy of, like I'm doing things that are going to get great outcomes for the patient.
Mm-hmm.
And that may not include surgery.
Right.
But that doesn't make the hospital money. That doesn't make them happy.
Right.
What do I do? And I think through, a couple of years after that and realizing that stuff, he finally realized that he was depressed. He finally realized that this is not what he really wanted to do. And he just walked away from it. So,
Yeah. Well, interesting because that's, both of us, we got our MBAs. And one of the things that I realized while I was still in school getting my MBA was that, when we were in business class, there were discussions of the things that would actually make people money, right? But then when I would go to medical school, right? So we'd go to medical school during the day, And then in the evening, afternoon, evening, we would go to business school, right? And so what would happen is during the day, it would be prevent disease, prevent disease, prevent disease. And then on the other end, when we went to business school, it was like, you know how much money you could make if you didn't prevent disease, right? And it wasn't as blatant as that, but I started to kind of understand just by seeing some of the trends of the conversations that we were talking about in business school. And I was like, it's a really interesting dichotomy.
You know, in that video, he talked about, he's very clear. He's like, you know, because, you know, people are like, well, I think one of the biggest criticisms that people would say is, well, you're a neurosurgeon, so you made a lot of money, so it's very easy for you to bounce and just leave and walk away. You probably have this huge amount of cash that you left, and now that's it. And he's very clear. Obviously, we don't have proof. We don't see what, you know, we're not, you know, pocket watching or anything like that. But he says he still has like over $200,000 in student loan debt. Financially, he's not well off. But emotionally, he was such at a point that he had to just leave. And his spouse actually encouraged him to do it. Like, she didn't bring it up, but when he told her that he's considering like moving away, she's like, yeah, I think you should because of A, B, C, D. This is what I see in you. This is the differences that I see in you. So I know with you in your past, you were in a situation where you were in a situation in residency, your first year residency, that you just were not enjoying it. You hated it. You felt like you were being hazed. And rather than just kind of go through that, you just said, I'm out. I'm leaving this residency. Didn't have any plans as to going to another residency program. Didn't have any plans. You were just going to figure it out. So knowing that story where, you know, he just left without having a plan B, without having this huge trust fund, or without having this huge, you know, stockpile of money, your thoughts on that?
So my story is similar, right? Eventually I did end up staying for different reasons, but I think that you reach a point where you start to question your own dignity. And that's kind of where I think I was, right? Like, who am I? You know, am I going to stay in a place where I feel like I'm harassed and not welcome? Am I going to just assimilate and just become, you know, this person that is just like all of these other people? Like, what is going to happen to me? You really start worrying about yourself, right? Your well-being, and then the dignity that you're losing, you know, as you're going through this process. Luckily, things were able to turn around for me. But my thought process at the time was, you know what? I'm smart and I'll figure it out. And I didn't have necessarily the worry about the student loan debt. I didn't worry so much about, oh my God.
But that was an issue though, because you, at that point, this is first year, you have 240 of student loan debt. But you wasn't thinking about that though.
No, I wasn't. I actually wasn't thinking about that. Because for me, the money didn't mean to me as much as my mental health, as my well-being, as my dignity. It just didn't. Right? Some people do anything for $1. See, I just felt like, no, I can't do that.
I think for me, I would have put up with it. I don't know if I was being hazed at my job. I don't think I was, but I think if I was in your situation, I would put up with it because I just know my personality. And I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I actually respect the fact that you did that. I gave you mad props for that. Remember, I was like, you sure you want to do this? And in my mind, I'm like, damn, man, she got mad guts because I don't know if I can go through 4 years of medical school, having all that debt, and not at least having a plan as to, okay, am I going to go to the next surgery program? Is there another surgery program in another state that I'm going to go to? Right. Because there's always this fear of, okay, if I leave this program, am I going to be able to get into another surgery program? Mm-hmm. So what you did, I thought was dope. I couldn't do it. I would have been mad scared. I would have been like, you know, I'm going to ride this out. I'm going to get through this. The way in which I'm going to make change is by, you know, not letting them change me and all that stuff. So I think fast forward, though, to this point where he's at, he talks about how he started gaining weight. Mm-hmm. A lot of weight. He started talking about how it started affecting his health. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he started talking about how it affected his mental health. I think when you're at that point, though, man, you got to leave. What do you think?
I mean, well, it's every individual's decision.
And he mentioned it's not just his hospital. He says it's not his hospital. Mm-hmm. He's not trying to put anybody on Front Street. He thinks it's just a healthcare system in general. A healthcare system, whether he goes to hospital A or he goes to another hospital 10 states away, they going to have a problem with a neurosurgeon saying, listen, you don't need back surgery. You need X, Y, and Z. They'd be like, we brought you here to put screws and plates in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but that's where you start to question, you know, your own dignity, right? Because you understand the nuances of what patients actually need. The hospital doesn't care about what patients actually need.
They care about output.
They care about output, and that output equals dollars. That's what they care about. And if I brought you here to operate, then you are going to operate, right? You start to feel like, I would imagine that he would start to feel like a sleazy salesman, right? Basically trying to sell you something that you know that this person doesn't need, but you're going to sell it to them anyway, right?
So speaking of operation, can you put the game up? Let's talk about it while we're doing this. Yeah, guys, we got our cadaver right here. We're gonna show you how we get down, how we practice our skills. This is how I practice my skills before I go into a case, y'all. What y'all think? Right?
I think you watch YouTube before you actually go into a case, but whatever.
No.
Okay, move up, because you can't have the patient so far away from you,
like
okay?
They can't see the screen.
Oh, snap. Yeah, here we go.
They can't see the screen. Actually, ladies first. You go first.
No, you go first.
Okay.
You go first. Wait. I'm going to read the question. Let me read the question so you know what you're going to get. Wrenched ankle, $200. Sam fell down on the basketball court, which Dr. Nee would never fall down on the basketball court.
She knows them skills.
Because you
she
can't
know them
play.
skills.
You
Go
can't
ahead.
play. Now his ankle is all out of sorts. All right, $200.
Watch this, guys. Watch this. This
Okay.
is easy work. This is light work. All the orthopedic surgeons watching right now, this is light work. This is easier than replacing potassium. Trust me.
Okay, go get that wrenched needle, or that wrenched knee. Let's see. You getting it out? Oh, trying to pick it up.
Oh.
Up. Okay, you done.
But you keep talking right over my back, and that's why I can't get it. All right, hold on. You go next. Hold on.
Whatever.
Hold on.
Whatever. You want me to get that?
So
knee for
how
you?
about this? As we're playing this, no, hold on. All right, this next one is water on the knee. Water in the knee has got Sam feeling down. Take it out quick before his leg drowns. Right here, guys. Water on the knee. If you can't see that.
You gotta
All right.
put your hand behind it.
Okay, you go ahead. Go get that knee.
Anyway, let's keep talking.
Yeah. So let's say you saw me, right? Like I'm in year 5. I'm in year 5 of this, and you're seeing that I'm gaining weight, and I'm just not enjoying my stuff. And, you know, I don't know, sometimes you can verbal. Oh!
I got it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, she got it.
Who looking like a
Hold on,
surgeon now?
Let me see.
Okay.
see.
This is what a surgeon looks like.
She got this part, guys. She got this part.
This is what a surgeon looks like. This is what a surgeon looks like.
Hold on.
Not like this.
Yo, can someone keep score? One to Renee, 0 for Nee. Go ahead, read mine now.
There you go. Keep talking.
Yeah, but if you saw me struggling, would you encourage me to leave? Knowing my personality, though.
First of all, let us be clear. There is.
Glenn is on here. Oh! Keep moving on.
Y'all saw that, right?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, let us be clear that you most likely would not actually listen to me. You would not listen to me.
All right, read the card. Come on.
Okay. Charlie horse. In Sam's leg, there's a horse named Charlie. Lure him out with some oats and barley.
Say that again. In what?
In Sam's leg, there's a horse named Charlie. He's got a Charlie horse.
Man, look at this, yo. First of all, you be giving. Look at this. Look at where this horse is.
You can move it so that you can actually see it.
Oh, I didn't
there
know
you
that.
go.
Okay, let's move the mic. You keep talking.
Okay, but I don't think that you actually would have. I don't think you actually would have listened to me, because with your career, you are extremely up. That's it. You.
Yo.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Don't forget, I'm an OBGYN. I work in small spaces. With your career, you are extremely
Move on. Move on. Yo, man.
wait, I'm trying to make a point. You're extremely like territorial, I
All
should
right.
say.
Sam's scarf was tied too tight. Now his Adam's apple isn't feeling quite right. All right, everybody, it's 2-0. Renee's up to
It's 1-0.
No.
I
Oh yeah.
won.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You
It's
wanna
one.
give me another point?
Yeah,
I'll
go
take
ahead.
it.
Go ahead.
So
Damn, I don't know how I got this wrong.
let's see. Where is okay, there it is. Yeah. So yeah, I think you're very territorial with your I got caught. With your career, and you would not listen to me if that was the case. I don't think you would listen.
I might listen to you because I'm a bit more mature, right? So I think my maturing has changed. The way how I look at things has changed since definitely since residency,
then,
right? Because I think once I finished residency, once I finished training, I've been more. My mind quickly changed to like, oh wait, like you just look at me like I'm a cog in the wheel, right? Like whether or not I show up, you guys, it just keeps moving, right? And you guys don't care if whatever happens in my family, whatever happens, you just want a surgeon here to do the operations, and that's it. And that's great. The patients need that, right? They need someone there for them all the time. They need a hospital that's working. They need surgeries, surgeons, all that stuff. I get all that. But at the same point, like, if all you're doing to make that happen is sacrificing everything that you have personally, then what is there for you to pick up at the end, right?
Right.
So that's the part where I was like, oh, man, like I got to be really careful about this because, yeah, if I'm saving lives like I do right now and I'm doing it all the time.
How?
But
you just buzzed this man twice.
But I don't have you there.
You just buzzed this man twice.
I don't have my kids there. If I don't have my family there, then, that's a problem, right? So let's get back to it. Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
Okay, go ahead and read my card, yo.
All right, hold on. Let's see. Okay, writer's cramp. So, Sam has a cramp right in his wrist from writing out a very long grocery list. Can you get the writer's cramp out?
I didn't even know you could
$300. I think that, you make a point that now things are much different. You got it. One right. Show the people. Get the people what they want. So I think now you definitely look at things much differently. But in residency, I could see you completely just not even listening to me.
Yeah, for me, it's the goal. The goal is to get it done.
Yeah.
The goal is to complete at that point, and I just knew that nothing was going to get me off of that goal.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's good for my health or not. That's how I was. So if you saw me like being depressed or you saw whatever was going on, it doesn't matter. Nothing. And if you know me, nothing was going to derail me from becoming a surgeon at that point.
Right. Well.
And I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just letting you know, like, that's how focused I was. And sometimes you have to be like that. That works. Mm-hmm. But I think there has to be a level of maturity and a point to realize, like what's really going on here? Because I think when you have that mindset of no matter what, you're going to get through it, you have to be careful, right? Because you start to accept things that you shouldn't accept in order to get to that point, right? Like if you were like this and like anytime you saw some BS, you're like, yeah, F that, and you spoke up and you said, I'm not going to tolerate this. Right. That's one thing. But most people are just like, look, I got to get through. You're going to accept some stuff that you really shouldn't accept. You're going to make some bends in your integrity that you shouldn't do and stuff. Yeah. So that's how I feel about that. But.
Well, so right now I am watching that documentary, Quiet on Set.
Yeah.
And, this particular discussion is reminding me, and while we're talking, go ahead and read your card. You all are enjoying this.
Yo, did you not see what I did on the wrist? Yo, if someone who's watching on Instagram, they said, I just played this with my I'm assuming grandma and uncle and smoked them. That's good. The horse is hard, but the wrist is the heart. Did she just see what I just did? Light work.
There's a delay.
Light work.
On Instagram.
Light work.
There's a delay on Instagram.
All right, bread basket. Hold on. Bread basket. Sam's bread basket has been giving him fits ever since he ate that giant sandwich. Go ahead, make it happen. And you keep talking if you want to, or if you need to be quiet. Go ahead.
Anyway, please. I'm watching that documentary, Quiet on Set. And I just find it really interesting, right, that we're talking about this particular topic because, the question is, what are you willing to do in order to get to the goal, right? And some people are willing to do or willing to put up with very questionable acts. Hey! Who got it? Who got it? Who got it? Who got it?
Is that a bread basket? Or is that a tooth? I think
that's a bread basket. That's a loaf of bread, baby. Okay, give me my proper.
All right, it's 2-1.
Okay,
2-1, y'all. 2-1.
All right.
Good job. Good job.
Okay. All right.
Before we move on to the next one, read mine.
Okay. Butterflies in the stomach. Sam's feeling nervous about a girl he knows. These butterflies in his belly have got to go.
Okay. All right,
So,
you talk about while I'm trying to kill this. You talk about
but it's very interesting, right?
Ooh.
It's very interesting because they're talking about that guy Drake from Drake and Josh, and I just literally watched this particular episode this morning where the father says, "Hey, Dr. Nee got one."
You see how when I get it, I'm just kind of like, it's expected. Like, you, like, celebrate, like...
What do you mean it's expected?
You celebrate...
You didn't get 2.
It's 2-2 now. I just had to get warm.
No, but guess what? You had more turns.
I had to get warm. How did I have more turns?
Excuse me,
what are you talking about?
You had more turns that were unsuccessful.
Listen, it's 2-2.
I only had 1 that was unsuccessful. You had 2 that were unsuccessful. Okay. So the game is over, right? I win.
If you want to end it now because you know I'm on a roll, go ahead.
What are you on a roll? How are you on a roll? Anyway, so they're talking about that that child actor Drake. I forget his last name, but Drake Bell. He was on Drake and Josh and Drake, whatever it was.
I don't know. I have cable back then.
I didn't have cable either. But his father mentions that he was always within eyes sight, right? He was always within eyesight of his son, so that, anytime anyone interacted with him, that he...
You keep talking. I'm just going to cover your eyes.
And anytime anyone interacted with him, that he would basically...
It's mirrored.
It's mirrored, yeah. He would basically be in, within eye... see, basically he would see him. He would be there with him. He started noticing that guy, what was his name? David something or whatever the hell his name was. David Peck, right? He started noticing that the guy was like literally touching his son, not inappropriately, but just weirdly, right? Like he would like help him get dressed with things that he didn't really need to get dressed with. He was a teenager. He didn't need to get dressed. Or he was like a young preteen. He didn't need to get dressed with that. Mm-hmm. So then his father went over and talked to whomever, and they were like, oh, well, that's just the way he is, X, Y, and Z. And his father was like, okay. And like, but didn't,
his dad was his dad was up on game. Everybody else was kind of playing the game of like, oh, we don't know what's going on. But the father was like, no, I see what y'all doing. I see what you're doing. And then what they did is they castigated him as the bad parent, the opinionated parent.
Right, they ostracized him.
And then he got ostracized, and then his son ends up ostracizing him, and then Drake got, basically. And now the father feels really guilty. The mother basically was in charge of it. It's a bad situation.
Right.
My question to you is this.
Wait. Let me finish my point about this. My whole point about this is at what point...
She's stalling too, guys.
At what point do you walk away, even though it is the thing that you absolutely said that you wanted to do? At what point do you take your child away, even though this is something that they really, really want to do, but they don't understand the implications of being in this industry? They just don't get it.
Well, some people need to see it in their face, right? So those people, there's some people who can see it from afar. There's some people who just don't need to see it at all, right? And then there's some people who just need to see it in their face. And depending on how far what you're being guided by, right? If you're being guided by fame, if you're being guided by money, you probably need to see that in your face. Like, I need to see my son or my daughter physically being X, Y, and Z. If you're in surgery, or if you're in a surgical program, or if you're in any type of program, I need to physically have someone like literally like insult me, hit me, or
Well,
like
insult. If it's for insult, that's nothing.
or abuse you in some form or way. When I said insult, I meant like insult in a very
You mean assault, not insult.
you can
Because
change
if
the
it's
I
for
to an A. Yeah,
you,
we could change we could change the vowel, right?
right?
and make it
Because
an A.
if that's the case,
and then
everybody's getting insulted.
and then if that's the case, then yeah, they need to see it. I think some people like I would need to be that would have needed to be me, which is you have to like show me that like if I continue this, that this is bad for my health, or I'm playing myself by going on. That's how I was. If you show me that I'm playing myself, right? If I see in my own actions that I'm playing myself, then I would be like, I'm out. Because for me, you know me already. My dignity is a really big thing. I'm really big on ego. So if I see that I'm in situations where I'm playing myself, then I'm out. And I think that's how it is for most people. Hold on. Come on, stop trying to stall.
I'm gonna try to get this.
Broken heart. Tell Sam there are plenty of fish in the sea. Fix that broken heart and earn some good money.
The butterflies about the girl.
Yeah, but I picked that up. Yo. You see how Renee, she be trying to stall, yo.
I'm not stalling. Okay. Work in small spaces.
The next thing I got is, what do you think the med students should learn from this? Med students and residents, what should they learn from this, man? Because this is important.
Man, it's hard, right? Because, again, it's very hard because when you feel like.
And it's 2-2, everyone.
It's 2-2, but you got more chances than I did.
Okay,
this thing is. Hold on a second.
Here we go, guys. Here we go.
No, whatever. I let you do the same thing. Okay, I let you shake it.
She's struggling.
I think it's hard because when you decide that you want to become a doctor, it's everything that you.
Hey, damn.
Anyway, it's you don't imagine you have in your mind what you think this thing is going to look like for you, right? Like you think that this is going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. You just think that.
How about this? Read it to me and then you say your point.
Hold on, we got to fix this camera. You think that it's going to be the best thing since sliced bread. You think that it's just going to be great. And so it takes a while, I think, for the disillusion to set in for a lot of people. I think it takes a long while for the disillusion to set in for people when they realize, like, hold on a second. They said medicine was going to be wonderful. I thought that the buck was going to stop with me. And you realize that, you know what? There's a lot in medicine that you have to put up with that you just never anticipated, So oh Lord, this damn camera, so I don't know what to tell medical students and residents except for just share my story and just say, how much are you willing to take?
Yeah. All right, read my stuff, please.
Okay.
Here, no.
I have a feeling you picking the easy stuff.
I'm not touching anything here.
Yeah, okay.
Come on.
You picked the rubber band. The kids lost the rubber band. Okay? Yeah, look at you. All right, wishbone. Sam's got a wish. Can you make it come true? Take it out quick, but don't break it in two. Right?
Where's the wishbone? Okay.
So just how much are you willing to take, I think, is the question, right? If you're at a point at which, he got it, guys. Damn it. Whatever. If you're at a point where you feel like, you are unwell, if you are at a point where you are questioning, your life, your purpose, why you're here, what it is that you're doing with your life, then at that point, I would say, yeah, you might need to reconsider, at least the environment that you're in, at least the environment that you are in. I will say for my case, I didn't have a plan per se, in terms of what I was going to do if I truly left the residency. So, I put in my resignation and I was literally ready to just like leave. And again, my circumstances changed, but I did consider, going to another residency program. That was something that I considered. it was something that I actually desired as well. And so I was like, you know what? I'll just kind of figure it out. If I'm, I'll look for another residency program to apply to. I did start looking for other residency programs, but again, I was kind of encouraged to stay by the chairperson, and I said, fine, I'll do that.
All right. So my advice to the students, my advice to anybody who's trying to be a doctor, and you see this is, I think there's two thoughts on this. There's how you consider medicine before you get in, and then there's how medicine is once you get in, right? Just choose one for you.
Yeah, choose one. Hold on. Oh, we did this one.
I think these are all
These are the ones that we did.
Yeah. And with that, I think that you should. Okay, here, Adam's apple.
Adam's apple.
Did we do that already? I think you did
I
Adam.
think we ran through all of them.
No, but there's all these here.
Oh, so then it's the ribs, the spare ribs.
Yeah. So Renee, Sam's spare rib is now a goner. It's a good thing. He's got another spare rib.
They don't even rhyme. Goner and another.
Yeah.
They don't even rhyme.
Go ahead and get that. Stop talking and what do you call it?
Whatever.
So like I would just say, and that's in any field, guys. There's how you feel about something before you get to that point, and then what happens when you get there. There's the reality, and then there's also what's in your mind. And I would just say, listen, medicine is still great. Being a physician, being a healthcare professional is still great. But I just think you got to be very intentional about things. You got to know what you want to get out of this. If you want to help your community, then you have to be very. You got to watch how the people who you're learning from, how they move, right? So if your attendings, if the chief residents, oh, you got it? Damn.
I got the spare rib, baby.
I guess I got that soothing voice that helps you nice and calm.
I don't think so. You want
I
to
just
take
instill
credit
confidence,
for everything,
instill confidence in you.
You want to take credit for everything.
Yeah.
You
No,
wanna
no,
take,
I'm not finished.
No. You ain't
Stop,
finished
stop,
with that
stop
mic. We're
pulling
going
the
to
mic.
share that mic.
No, I'm still finishing.
Okay.
So I think that you have to see how the upper levels are moving, whether it's the attendings or if it's your chief residents and so forth. Move over a little bit. I'm getting out of the frame. Watch out.
But
right?
you're the ones going
Right?
all the way over there.
And I think that this has been an issue. It just so happens that this is on social media and this is coming out. So I do think that there hasn't been any significant change in medicine over the last 10 or 15 years that has made it worse for doctors. I don't think so at all. I think what has happened now is you have more doctors who are able to, get out there and say things on blogs, YouTube, podcasting, and just say, hey, look, like, the way in which I thought this was going to be is not the way how it is right now, right? Just like the same thing with that. Remember like several years ago, you had that issue with the white coat investor and that tweet where we had that medical student who was finishing medical school and she puts down that, I'm about to graduate with like 200 stacks of student loan debt. I had no clue that I was going to have to be dealing with this. I want to help my community. I want to help my family. But how am I going to be doing that when I'm starting off with like a parachute off in this race? And, the white coat investor comes in and says, like, this is the epitome of illiteracy, basically, financial illiteracy, right? And a lot of people didn't like it, right? Some people agreed with it. A lot of people didn't like it. But, that's an example of right message, wrong messenger, right? Like, they're not trying to hear it from him and stuff. And we can get into that for a whole sorts of reasons, right? But knowing that you have a lot of student loan debt, but still having a passion to be a doctor, the question is, well, if you know that you want to be a doctor, how passionate are you to bypass that debt? Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying to you guys is there's going to be some sacrifices that need to be made. There's going to have to be some times where you have to, close your nose or kind of, just deal with whatever you have to deal with. The question is what's that thing that's so bothersome to you that you're like, you know what, I'm going to cash out? You have to have that conversation with yourself about that as you're going into medical school, as you're in a residency, and definitely once you become an attending, you're going to be faced with that on a daily basis. And I think for me, the thing that I had an issue with was I have a big time issue of someone telling me my time and dictating my time and what I can and can't do from a clinical standpoint. Those two things really upset me. So when I can't like just take time off because I just can't take time off, even though I put in a whole bunch of hours and I put in a whole bunch of months and so forth, and I just want to have time to like either go to a funeral or I want to go and just have like a weekend off, but like I can't do that because someone literally said, I'm not moving you off the schedule. That bothers me. That really just drives me nuts because I'm very like big into my independence and so forth. The other thing in that same vein is, if someone has a condition and I'm doing something that is the standard of care, and then somebody else says, well, no, you should do A, B, C, D because I said that, it's like, yeah, no. I mean, like, you can just turn around, pass go, and go. Like, I've seen that a lot. And some people who are listening to the show, you know exactly what I mean, right? You may have a chairperson, or you may have a division lead, or you may have somebody else who will say, well, you can't do this to this patient unless you do A, B, C, and D. And it's like, well, who's in charge of this patient? Is it me, or is it you? Because if something goes wrong, you are not going to be in court defending the actions. Right. It's going to be me. And if you're saying that me not listening to you is going to, have a detriment on my career, what we talking about here and stuff. So you have to be really careful in those type of situations. And that's why, for me, I always say, listen, I know everybody's like, you guys talk about locums all the time. That's what, for me, I think everybody should be locums. Every physician, every medical professional should be locums, and then it separates everything. It keeps the medical decisions and the care of the patients separate, and then let who pays for the hospital, or who pays for the facilities, the capital expenditures, all of these different things, the hiring and firing of certain other things, the admin, let all that stuff happen by the hospital, right? And then that way you can keep everything as independent as possible. I come in, I bring my knowledge, and then I leave with my knowledge. You guys provide the facilities for me to do the things that I need to do, but it's a separate relationship. Now, I don't think independent contracting is for everybody, but I do think that, hold on. But I do think that there's some people who it's for and they should do it 100%. Do you see what I'm saying? But then there's some people who it's not for, and you can do it 10%. You could do it 80%. You don't have to do your entire career does not have to be locums. That's all I'm saying. That's why I'm saying every physician, every medical professional should in some form or fashion be independent. Because I think that's the nature of medicine, right? That's the way I look at it. Like my interests, what I want, may not necessarily be in same line as the profits that a hospital may want to get. Right. And I think, in essence, that's what that neurosurgeon is saying, right? So if I decide that I don't want to operate on someone, that should be fine. There should be no consequences to that. And he's not saying that he felt consequences, but I think he felt as though over time there would be consequences to that. And if he go into a hospital in North Carolina, or if he went to a hospital in Colorado, or he went to a hospital in California, eventually that would have come up. That's what he's saying.
So I think at some point,
read me a new one.
I think at some point, we need to have the discussion as to whether or not
bring the thing
we need to have. Yeah, we both got the same number of turns.
It's 3-2. Yes, I want to keep going.
It's not 3-2. It's 3-3.
How is it 3-3?
I got 3 out, Nee.
Really?
You got 3 out. There's 6 of them over there.
Okay, so let me finish it up.
Okay, you want to finish it out. Okay, that was my last turn. I'm gonna let you win.
Okay.
Gotta let him win.
I'm about to run a Boston on her.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you run a Boston?
I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. So what are you getting out now?
Getting out the wrench.
The wrench. Oh, that was the original one. The original wrench. I think we need to have a discussion at some point. Maybe not today, but I would love to know the audience's thought, and really sit down and just think about it before you jump on your answer. Is working for a hospital potentially a conflict of interest? You got.
Damn!
Is working for a hospital, getting paid by a hospital, potentially for a doctor, a conflict of interest? I'd like to know what our audience thinks about that. I would love for you guys to, if you're listening to this is live right now, but it's going to be recorded, to go down and text us or send us a DM or whatever. But contact us, because I would love to know what doctors think potentially.
To get this horse out.
He's trying to get the horse out now. I'd love to know what you guys think. Because if you've ever been in a situation like me described, right, where you got me, you lit up. If you've ever been in a situation like me described, where you have kind of disagreed with something, right? You disagreed with a policy, but you went ahead and did it anyway, because guess what? If you don't do it, you're going to get in trouble. It's going to have a detrimental effect on your career, on your life, on your whatever, right? On your pay, potentially, right? On your standing.
We've seen that, actually. We've seen people talk about that. We can give an example without saying too much of an example. But for example, like, let's say, you're an attending, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're seeing patients in clinic. Your patient doesn't show up after waiting 30 minutes for them. But then the patient shows up like an hour later.
Yes.
And everybody's gone, right? Because it's at the end of the day. But they showed up like 30, 40 minutes late.
Yes.
Right? And then you guys close up shop. And then you get in trouble for that.
Dinged.
You get dinged for that. Should that be the case?
Right.
Like, I don't think that should be the case. But because of hospital policy and because the customer is always right in this situation, you get dinged for that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, those are the type of things where it's like you're trying to build a certain type of behavior with your patients or a certain type of expectation. Like, you should either call or you should, let us know. But, I think 30 minutes late.
Or just have the expectation that you are not going to be seen.
I think 30 minutes late is more than enough time to say, hey, this person is not showing up. They haven't called us to let us know. So we're just going to cancel. If they want to recall back and set it up for another date, you can do that.
Right.
But to receive some type of retribution for being gone afterwards, guys, this has happened. I'm telling y'all.
Yeah.
So
we recently talked to somebody who that
let's go ahead and bring
happened
this home. Let's go ahead and bring it home because we
Bring
got to
it
get
home.
this. We got to get this going.
Bring it
But
home.
listen, guys, this is just us, having fun talking about this topic. I really appreciate that neurosurgeon for putting that out there. I think there's so much things that you guys can learn about that. The biggest thing that I think you can learn from this is, listen, like, life, your career is not linear, right? Like, you could think that you're going in a straight line and you're ascending, and there's times when you just have to take a detour.
Yeah.
You can recover. And he said he may come back. So just so y'all know, there's ways in which if he were to take several years off, he could come back and help himself get back into becoming a neurosurgeon. Like, sometimes you can get proctored by other neurosurgeons. You may have to do like an additional year of some training or something like that. But he'll figure it out in some form or fashion. But
we are all smart people.
But right now, it looks as though, from my perspective, he's prioritizing what he's passionate about right now, what makes him happy, what makes his dog happy, his dog happy, and what makes him and his wife happy. He's prioritizing that right now. And for us, I never considered walking away, but there came a point where I was like, man, like, the debt is really pressuring me to make decisions that I don't want to make. And once we got that out of the way, for me, that was a big game changer, and I got the monkey off my back. And we could talk about that on future episodes. So as far as this game, I wrecked shop,
How? How did you wreck shop, Nee?
You didn't see? They got the replay. Everybody on Instagram, everybody on Facebook, everybody on YouTube.
How did you wreck shop? We both got 3.
I helped you to get to that point, but it's all good. Listen, 3-3. It was a tie.
It was a tie.
It was all good.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to see us play more games like this, let us know in the comments or send us a fan mail or text us. The phone number will be below. You won't see it live, but you'll see it on the replay.
We do need to put the number
next
live
time.
Next time.
Next time we will.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We are out. We'll catch you guys on the next episode, y'all. Peace.
Peace.